Good morning. Happy Thursday. I'm meteorologist Kevin Smith here at the National Weather Service in Pocatello with another edition of your weather hazard briefing for Southeast Idaho. And Kevin, what's this? A new background image for the briefing this morning? Well, we can't say we're done yet with the hot, dry conditions that we've been dealing with here for quite a while across the region, but chance of some moisture, chance of some thunderstorms making two appearances in the forecast here as we go through the next week or so. Let's take a look. So key points for our briefing today, we're going to start out with isolated to scattered dry thunderstorms expected across the region today. High-res models really keying in on about 2 p.m. to 9 p.m. as the most favorable window for thunderstorms today, but chance a few isolated thunderstorms could linger well into the overnight hours, maybe even 3, 4, 5 a.m. Friday morning as you head up toward Island Park and the Wyoming border. Unfortunately, lightning and gusty erratic outflow winds are the greatest hazards with storm today, with very little in the way of rainfall, so no relief there. May see a few lingering isolated thunderstorms Friday afternoon and then dry as we head into the weekend and early next week, and the heat will make a return. Heat intensifies across the region starting Saturday just a little bit, but Sunday and Monday in particular looking the hottest for our Southeast Idaho forecast area with some 100-degree readings returning to the forecast for that time period. Then a glimmer of hope, perhaps. Here's a second chance of some moisture popping into our forecast here and a little more favorable. Models really showing a signal for increased monsoon moisture being transported northward into the state of Idaho next week, particularly from Tuesday onward. And we're watching to see if that may fuel some wetter thunderstorm activity and maybe knock just a little bit of the oomph out of that heat across the region and provide a little bit better moisture for fire weather concerns across the region. Satellite loop this morning, very similar to what we've shown you the past couple days. Two main weather players we have shown here. First, this high pressure system sitting down here still pretty stationary over Southern California and Southern Nevada. We've had continued thunderstorm issues down here, some flash flood concerns, none of that really being an issue for us compared to what they're seeing further south here. But we're expecting this high pressure center to gradually move off to the northeast and intensify as we head into the weekend, and by the weekend we'll see this set up just to the southeast of the state of Idaho. Nice clockwise flow, if you follow my pointer here, around that high pressure center is going to bring in the heat as we head into Sunday, Monday, like we mentioned, but also support that transport of better monsoon moisture northward around the high up across portions of the state of Idaho. And meanwhile, this high pressure system continues to block additional systems from coming in off the Pacific. You can see the yellow line I've indicated here. We do have a low pressure system, not moving very much here, still spinning just off the coast of Alaska, and it's going to gradually trend to the east and approach the western coast of Canada and the Seattle area, but generally not making a lot of progress inland into the continental United States with this blocking high pressure ridge in place. So if you look at the big picture players, not a big pattern change for the area, but again, there is hope with some increased monsoon moisture next week for Southeast Idaho. Weather and hazard outlook today, again, isolated to maybe some scattered thunderstorms for many areas across the region after 2 p.m. this afternoon. For our fire weather partners, going to be right on the line as far as coverage. I think most of the activity will be isolated, but we may head towards some scattered thunderstorm coverage in a few spots. Do not have a red flag warning out right now for the region, but we'll certainly be watching that as we go into the day today. Otherwise, hot conditions continuing the next few days. A few more isolated thunderstorms, particularly in the eastern highlands, maybe up toward Chalice and Salmon as we go into Friday, but otherwise drying out for Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, and here comes the heat, particularly Sunday and Monday across the region. I have highlighted a moderate impact here for a few spots, in particular the eastern Magic Valley, the lower Snake Plain, into the South Hills and Southern Highlands, and the immediate Chalice area as well. These areas stand the greatest chance for seeing upper 90s to low 100s return to the forecast, and we may be looking at a need for heat advisories or excessive heat warnings as we head toward the Sunday-Monday timeframe. No watches, warnings, or advisories in effect from us across our local forecast area this morning. We do have some red flag warnings from the Weather Service offices in Boise for portions of the Central Mountains here, and also Great Falls as you head over the border into Montana. High temperatures today, very similar to what we've seen over the past couple days, generally mid-80s for our cooler spots like Island Park, Driggs, down toward Montpelier, and then 90s widespread for most of the rest of our lower elevation population centers, including Chalice, and the warmest readings as usual creeping into the eastern Magic Valley and Raft River region. Now, those thunderstorms today, this is a graphic here that we're getting ready to put out on social media this morning to kind of give you a visual look at what we're expecting. So as far as coverage here, best chance of thunderstorms we're expecting from about Salmon down to the areas east of Chalice, east of Mackay, and then wrapping around across our eastern highlands and southern highlands. Really targeted for the best coverage of these thunderstorms. May see a few isolated cells developing further west into the Stanley area, down toward Mackay, and maybe into the Idaho Falls, Pocatello, and Burley corridor here. You'll be right on the edge of that better potential to your south and east. And again, best timing 2 p.m. to 9 p.m. today, with a few of those storms lingering into the overnight, particularly as you head up toward Island Park and over toward Driggs. Looking through our data and what the atmosphere is capable of doing with these storms today, it's really a dry, gusty, dry thunderstorm regime. So wind gusts, outflow winds from these storms, 45 to 55 miles per hour looking likely. Frequent lightning will be a concern with the cells as well. And of course, we'll be watching for any possible new fire starts out of that activity this afternoon and this evening. Smoke also continues, as we've all noticed, across the region. And we pulled this graphic up yesterday, but it's still valid. Generally, the atmospheric flow bringing in plenty of regional smoke from large wildfires to our west, particularly here in southern Oregon, streaming in. And then occasionally the wind flow will pick up some smoke as well from fires here in northern Idaho into far southeastern portions of Washington. And generally expecting this to continue. We'll see if these disturbances here with the thunderstorms the next couple days can mix things up and maybe bring a little bit of improvement. But in general, short of putting these fires out, our wind flow is going to continue to bring smoke across the forecast area here in southeast Idaho. High temperatures Friday, Saturday, again, upper 80s to upper 90s, widespread across the region, very similar to the past few days. And then into Sunday, Monday, here comes the heat. Okay, Sundays, high temperatures here shown on the left, Mondays on the right, making a run once again at 100-degree readings for places like Idaho Falls, down into Pocatello, McCammon, Malad, Preston, out through the eastern Magic Valley, Shoshone, Jerome, Burley, Twin Falls, all looking at potential for 100-degree readings as we head into the weekend and early next week. Finally, 6 to 10 day temperature outlook from the Storm Prediction Center. Look at this continued signal for really warm, hot, above normal temperatures to continue here for a really big chunk of the continental United States, certainly including our area here in southeast Idaho. But remember I mentioned that monsoon moisture potential, and here we go. 6 to 10 day outlook showing this corridor of green starting to creep north to the west of that ridge of high pressure, including southern portions of Idaho. So certainly glimmer of hope there as we look for some relief from both the heat and the fire weather concerns across the region. And that's your hazard briefing for today. If you have questions, comments, concerns for us, as always, feel free to reach out using the information here on your screen. And everybody have a great Thursday.